Well, it's that magical time of year where we deck the halls and hang those stockings, and Brits actually pretend to really like fruitcake.
You're a fucking fruitcake, Joggle.
Oh my god! Just out me like that. Is that your Christmas present? You're just gonna out me to everybody?
Why not? Merry Christmas! It is that time of year.
I'll fill your stocking.
Hello and welcome to Two Sides of the Pond, the podcast with myself, Matthew, a Brit, and this yank over here, Dwayne. Say hello, Dwayne.
Hello, you British bastard. Go on.
That'll do the trick. We're going to be discussing various things throughout these podcasts that compare our two sides of the pond. And there's a lot of differences. There's going to be a lot of podcasts. But today, Christmas. It is almost that time of year. You know, we're into December now. We're leading up to the holidays. And yeah, I'm guessing things are quite different in terms of how we do it. Especially when it comes to traditions as well, family traditions. I'm interested to hear what your traditions are and what you're used to. Well, talk about what I'm used to.
Well, first off, Christmas actually started here, I want to say October 15th. Everywhere I go now, starting October 15th, go to the store, they're selling Christmas trees.
So you haven't even got Halloween out of the way before you start selling? Because at least here, as far as I'm aware, unless the store is, you know, run by someone with brain damage, I'm pretty sure we get Halloween out of the way first. And then we have a brief moment of like fireworks and promoting limbs being blown off. But then we get into the old, Christmas decorations and all that bag of bullshit.
Yeah, no, we start ridiculously early in the name of consumerism. So and making money.
Of course, you know. So what do you do in terms of decorations? When is it normal for you to decorate your houses with, you know, Christmas tree and tinsel and lights on the outside and all that shit?
Some people start November 1st, like right after Halloween.
November 1st?
November 1st.
Throw them in jail!
I can tell you when I do it. I will tell you when I do it.
December 24th? What is it?
Well, you know what? Have you seen I Love Lucy from like the 40s and 50s?
No, I wasn't born then. I was born in the 90s.
Reruns, my friend, reruns.
You know, watch reruns from something fucking 80 years ago.
Okay, well, all right. And the Brady Bunch has done it. Like all of those 60s, 70s, even early 80s TV shows, what they would do is they would bring in the live tree and decorate it for Christmas Eve for Santa to come. It was like the big...
I have no balls left on my desk.
It's about time you grew up. So...
Nice. It's probably the best trick you've done. Excuse me whilst I squat.
Well,
I might shit. I'm good.
Yeah, you have a habit of that. Squatting and shitting at the same time.
There is a story about squatting, but we'll save that for another day. And I'm going to get you doing the same thing as well. By the way, when we travel, you're going to be squatting with me because it's tradition. It's the day of traditions.
Yes, absolutely. So, what a lot of people would do is be the tree would be like the beacon of light that calls Santa Claus to your house, and that's how he knows you celebrate, and that's how he would come. So just like for Halloween, you would have a jack-o'-lantern on your front porch and it would be lit up and that would welcome trick-or-treaters to knock on your door. So that's what like the whole idea of like the Christmas tree and the star on top calling Santa.
Right. So one question just as an aside. Do you have Christmas trees out during Halloween but decorated with Halloween decorations rather than Christmas decorations?
I personally do not do that. However, if you go to any Hallmark store here in the United States, they have a tree for everything.
Yeah, right. So my brother did this. So I was over my brother's place recently, and he showed me his Christmas tree, but it had Halloween-themed tinsel on it, and it had Jack Skellington or whatever that twat is, you know, instead of the star, just with the branch up his ass, whatever at the top. And all they would do is just redecorate it with Christmas decorations. And I was like, that's not a thing, is it?
But, no, that's lazy.
That's lazy.
Now, are you telling me he has like a fir pine green
It's not a real
tree?
Christmas tree. He
But,
has had a real one
no,
before. It's a fake one.
no, like a fake one that looks like something you cut down out of the forest, like a green
No.
one. Is that what he's
It is
decorating?
green, yeah, but it's not a fake pine looking tree. It's like skinnier branches. It's hard to describe.
Okay, it
But
looks anorexic. Got it.
yeah, so he did have a real tree previously. So he has his garage underneath his property, so he's above it, and he had the tree in his lounge, which is right above the garage.
Mm-hmm.
And when the end of the season comes, obviously a real tree is shedding all of its needles, right, and making a mess. You dare not move it through the entire property because you're going to have a trail of shit everywhere.
Yes.
So what did he do? He opened the window and just threw it out. Done. Problem solved.
Now, the only way I would do a real tree, and I have done a real tree in the past, that is when I pull out tinsel. Do you have tinsel? And I'm sure you call it some crazy ass.
No, it's called tinsel.
Okay. Wow, we have something in common. All right. So I would only use tinsel on a real tree because when it's time to get rid of it, you throw the tinsel out and everything.
What? Why would you throw the tinsel out?
How do you save it? You just sit there and pick little strands off of it?
Hang on, what does your tinsel look like?
It's little, like, strips of silver. Like...
Oh, we have... Okay. We have different ideas.
Are you talking garland? Are you talking garland? Like...
What the fuck is garland?
Well, there we go. Garland is the thing on a string that goes around the tree that you just... like wrap up at the end of every year.
So that's what we call tinsel. We have the same sort of flaky stuff, but obviously attached to a string, and you get
like reflective.
Yeah, and it can be nice chunky tinsel, and we wrap that around our trees, and we put lights around it as well, and it all just flickers and looks lovely.
Yes.
But we also have got, I suppose, loose tinsel in this sense. So it's just bits of the flickery stuff that we then just sort of sprinkle around.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
But we do that in addition to tinsel usually, and we have baubles and chocolates on the tree.
Chocolates?
And we also use beads. Yeah, so we usually put chocolates on the tree. Yeah. So then after Christmas Day, this is what my family did. But after Christmas Day, you then start having a chocolate at lunchtime from the tree. And because we used to have the tree in the conservatory where it's cold as fuck, it was nicely then well sort of refrigerated chocolate on the trees. It's really cool.
That's nice. Yeah. I like that idea.
We had beads as well. So we had sort of snowflake beads and stuff and little
wooden or plastic or resin?
No, plastic. Yeah, plastic resiny type stuff. Yeah, again on a string sort of thing, and then you just sort of
And that's what we call garland. Yeah, I can tell you that like the loose tinsel, like the little individual strands
of it. Yeah,
that's what I would only put on real trees because I would just throw that out. It's so inexpensive. It's such a pain in the ass. You can't collect it at the end of it all. It looks amazing.
We do. So the stuff that we put on our tree,
and I'm the one that's poor. What?
Yeah.
How do you do that?
It just always made sense. You just go around because it's all in clumps anyway.
Oh, you're not doing it right. Got it.
Yeah, but we have enough to cover the whole tree, so it is just also. It's not like it's a ball of it, but it is sort of somewhat intertangled and stuff. So you can just sort of grab your hand, and you're grabbing lumps of it out. We never get all of it. We always find the odd little bit here and there, especially like 8 months later. And all of a sudden, you see a little bit on the floor, and you think, "Bastard, why are you there? You should be in the bag in the loft." You know.
And if you have cats, what happens is you see it dangling out of that little hole. You just pull it out.
Well, this is why we would have the tree in the conservatory, so the cats
weren't allowed in there.
Yes, yeah, because they would. And this is why I've never decorated my own home, because I have had 2 cats. That would get in the tree and rip it to shreds. So I never bothered. I was tempted to get one of those upside down trees where you nail it to your ceiling, but I know my cats would have found a way of SpaceXing it onto this damn tree, regardless. So I never bothered.
I do is Thanksgiving is when Christmas starts for me officially.
But isn't that supposed to be a whole different thing, or is that actually part of Christmas?
It really, for me and my tradition, it welcomes you into the holiday season.
Is that because you eat a lot of food?
The whole time. So Christmas music doesn't start in my house until Thanksgiving. So on Thanksgiving Day, was when we would start playing Christmas music in the house. So during dinner, for Thanksgiving dinner, we would have Christmas music playing throughout the house, kind of at a low volume, kind of like the background ambient noise that we would have. So it would set the ambiance, and most of the time I have the availability to put up the Christmas tree, and I would have my children, who are adults now, come over for Thanksgiving dinner, and then before Thanksgiving dinner, we would take what you call baubles, and have them decorate the tree as like a family tradition where we would all decorate the tree together. And then after they go home at night, I rearrange all the ornaments to make sure they look better in the correct position. And that's what I do. And
I noticed you did that. I put coal in your stocking. That's what I do.
You have coal too, huh? Man. Well, all right. You have to tell me something though, because all right. So I was here in America. Charles Dickens'
Obviously.
A Christmas Story is huge. It has been, or A Christmas Carol, has been redone so many different times, and it is set in the Victoria era of in London. Correct? We can agree on that?
I guess so. Yep. It sounds about right.
Is this not that big of a deal for you?
Maybe not for me. Maybe for other people.
Yeah?
I don't know. Carry on.
Because, like, they talk about figgy pudding and having a goose on the table instead of a turkey. Now, Thanksgiving for us is... we have turkey for Thanksgiving, and then for Christmas dinner, depending on your family and where you're from, very Italian American tradition would be the Feast of Seven Fishes.
Seven fishes?
Yes. I never participated, even though I'm Italian American. I've never done the Feast of Seven Fishes, but it's a thing. It's a very Italian thing. Just like here, there are two types of way to celebrate Christmas. You go all holier than thou, Catholic, religious Christmas, or you go to a toy store and buy a whole bunch of shit, like, for people.
I'll take the toy store option. The hell with the traditional one.
So that's, ours. Every year for Christmas, we usually have a ham. Because I hate turkey anyway. But we will have a ham for Christmas. We have a very traditional Christmas morning breakfast that I've made up years ago, that my kids look forward to now every year, Christmas morning, for breakfast. So that's our tradition. And growing up, for me, Christmas was the biggest holiday of the year. Your birthday, you may get one or two gifts, and you have a cake, and maybe one or two people would come over and embarrass you by singing happy birthday. And that was it. Like, some houses, birthdays are so much more important. For me, birthdays are very, very important. But growing up in my house, it was Christmas that was hugely important, where my family would find a way, as low income as we were, to make sure that we had like half the room under the tree was filled with presents. And I guess that was my family's way of showing love, by all these gifts under the tree. And another tradition we had was Christmas Eve, when I had the boys here. It would be, we would open one gift, and that gift was always the same gift every year. It was pajamas, and they were some kind of matching pajama. And that was just tradition that I had built that I had never had growing up. So that's my traditional piece. I don't do the kindergarten route like you guys do. So,
the what?
Little arts and crafts where you take a little piece of tissue paper and wrap it around your head and call it a crown and pretend you're somebody or not.
Oh, that stuff. Okay, okay, yeah. Wearing Christmas crackers, breaking them. It's fun. It's all part of it. You do it
Yeah,
before
but
you have your meal.
what's the crown about? Do you
I have
wear
no
Santa
idea.
Claus hats?
Yeah,
Like you do have Santa hats as a
yeah.
part of your decor. All right. So where
Or
I
reindeer
have,
ears. Reindeer
yeah.
things.
That's pretty all right. But I remember watching a lot of TV shows, and this might be where I go wrong, but
Most
where
likely.
they would wear the tissue paper crowns around their head.
Yeah.
They were all solid color, and everybody had a different one. Like Bridget Jones's Diary, they do it.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
that is just amazing to me. That why would anybody do that? And
Because it's festive.
for such a serious culture that you have,
It's festive.
right? You turn into 5-year-olds when it comes to Christmas.
It's festive. You crack your cracker. You get a shit joke. You get a shit dad joke from it. You then get a little pointless thing like I don't know, like tic-tac-toe or a little pen or some bollocks or a frog that you can flick and it just yeets off and hits the cat, something like that. And then you have your crown that you put on, and they never stay right. I always end up round over my eyes, like
You have a
Cyclops,
small head.
Well, yeah. Well, I got a weird shaped head. I don't know. It's quite elongated. I think I was like steamrolled at some point. But but it's tradition. It's what you do. You just put on your crown and you all sat around like a bunch of twats. And it's like, yeah, UK. It's all good.
So, do you have any traditional thing that you watch on Christmas Day?
Yes. So, for most years in my life, it's been a case of going around my parents. Obviously, for a chunk of it, I lived there anyway, so I was already there, easy, right? And then more recently, I've had to, drive. But what we always did is the presents would go around the tree on Christmas Eve. And when me and my brother weren't living there, we would bring it over and whatnot. Bags of shite all wrapped up. I'm terrible at wrapping as well. I get so bored doing it, so I just go fucking nuts. And my brother's a bastard as well when it comes to it because he will use like an entire ream of sellotape to make it impossible to find a way in. So you spend a good 5 hours a day just trying to. Oh yeah, on purpose. Yeah. I started getting creative as well because obviously when you do things like bottles of wine, it's obvious what it is. So I took 2 bottles of wine. And I did it, sort of facing each other and then wrapped that up. And it looked like a really odd shape. And people were like, what the fuck is this? It made it harder to guess. So I just started catching people out that way. But what we do, though, is we're not allowed to open any presents during the day. We have our Christmas lunch first, which is usually like 2 p.m. because it takes forever to prepare. And then like 10 minutes to devour, which is always hilarious. You spend like 4 or 5 hours preparing for this shite.
Now, this is Christmas Day.
This is Christmas Day.
Okay, go ahead.
You shovel it down. And you have your pigs in blanket and stuff and your Yorkshire pud and all these extra little bits and whatnot. It's great fun. Obviously, we have turkey as well. We have turkey on Christmas Day here. And then traditionally, we would wait for the Queen's speech, which is usually 3 p.m. I think obviously it's a King's speech now, but no one's got time for him. But all the years we're listening to the Queen's speech, and she talks a whole load of shite and stuff. And then as soon as that's over, we then go and open presents. So the next sort of like 45 minutes or an hour, whatever it is, opening presents and seeing disappointment on everyone's faces.
So is this like the president's speech where they just kind of like addresses America? Like, so the Queen or the King in this case would just talk about what? Like, just how unionized y'all are? And
well, it's more sort of reminding you that the world's shit and there's people that are starving and dying and whatnot, and then it wraps up being like, but fuck them, it's Christmas Day, open your presents. So, it's a very strange sort of message,
okay.
But it's kind of
supposed to be uplifting, ends on an uplifting.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it's sort of a recap of the year, really, of what's been going on and reminding you of those less fortunate, and things like that and whatnot. But yeah, but it ends on a sort of a positive note, I suppose.
Feel bad, kids. Now go ahead and open your gifts that, nobody else can afford.
Yeah. And I always hated this tradition of waiting for the Queen's speech because it is such a long time to wait when you're a kid until you can open any presents. Although I do tell a lie because when we had Santa delivering a sack of shit, we were able to open that straight away. So as soon as you woke up in the morning, which is like 1 minute past midnight because can't sleep, you'd open your Santa presents, but the stuff around the tree you'd have to wait until after the Queen's speech, and that wasn't so bad. But then Santa was like, "Yeah, now I'm not coming anymore because you're old as shit." For our younger viewers out there, that's what happens when we get older.
First off, if we have younger viewers, we're doing something wrong. Yeah. All right, go on.
Shaping the youth. Shit. But
they're gonna play us in colleges one day. You know that, right?
I hope they
do.
We are just invited.
I
hope we get invited to stand up in front of a college and say, "You idiots! You learned to spell properly, right? Do it the British way."
Yes.
But
yeah, everybody paper crowns as we leave.
Exactly. Yeah. I'll rock up with that. So when we don't have stuff to open in the morning, it's a long time to wait until we do get stuff. But other than that, though, we generally then stick on a film, especially more in the more recent years. We'll find something to watch together. And then there's all sorts of TV shows on in the evening. Now, we have a thing here called soaps, which I don't know what the equivalent is for you, really. So we have TV shows called Emmerdale, Coronation Street, EastEnders. They're, I don't want to say reality TV, but they're sort of like based on...
I am familiar with the EastEnders just because I know the one of the actors.
Oh, there you go.
Shane Ritchie is in EastEnders. Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
You're right. Yes.
Yeah.
So it's just sort of based on like normal life in some sort of like neighborhood area, and they make it
in an exaggerated way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's always death going on.
We call them soap operas here. Just so you know.
The soap operas, right? Okay.
Soap opera. Yeah.
There we are. So one of the things that usually happens on the Christmas Day episodes is someone is going to die, or several people are going to die. So it's worth watching. I don't usually watch it at all, but when there's going to be like some sort of mass murder, I'm there. I'm ready.
Sounds about right.
I've got my fruitcake. All my Christmas pudding, as we call it, and I'm ready to go.
Yeah, fruitcake here is kind of funny. I don't know anybody who really likes it, but everybody has it and gets it.
I quite like it. So I don't like cherries, so I'll pick the cherries out. But I'm gonna
have to try it one year.
Yeah, I do enjoy a Christmas cake, which is a fruit cake, but it also then has icing and marzipan on it and stuff.
Okay,
and that's lovely.
I am a whore for marzipan. I will say that I am. There's something.
So you need to try then a Christmas cake that we do.
Okay.
Because that's nice when you mix it in with the fruitcake, it is tasty.
Okay.
And then with the Christmas pudding, it's just fruitcake, but we warm it up in the microwave, and then I pour pouring cream on it, which you don't do out there. I've never found it. So we have different creams. We have clotted cream, which is lumpy cream. We also have whipped cream, which is pointless, and we have pouring cream. It's runny, right? It's a liquid or a gas, as you like to call it in America.
Fuck you. Go on.
There goes the ball.
Now.
I'm going to do the same.
Go. Yeah.
Now I haven't got the balls again. But when I was in America back in April, we found this tray of cheesecake in Walmart, and there's loads of different types of cheesecake in a tray. It's like, wow, that's banging.
Yes.
That's fantastic. And cheesecake is great with pouring cream. It's a real nice thing to add to it.
Is it warm or not?
No, it's cold. This was cold cheesecake.
No, the cream.
The pouring cream as well.
That's cold as well?
Yeah.
That's interesting. I could see a warm thing, like almost like a ganache, like to
you
pour over kind of thick.
But it's nice.
Like melted ice cream?
Yeah, you could do that. The thing that's nice with pouring cream is if you have something like a fudge cake or like a molten cake that's heated up, the cream you then pour on top is cold. And that mixture of hot molten chocolate and cold cream, it's such a nice blend. It's a real nice blend, So
do you buy it like a carton in the grocery store, or it comes that way?
Yeah. Okay. When we were looking for it in Walmart and we couldn't find anything at all, so what we grabbed was whipped cream, and then spent a good half an hour just whisking the shit out of it to try and turn it into pouring cream. And it sort of did the trick, but it didn't have the same consistency. So I don't know what the best option is. But I need to find something because I rely on it quite a lot when it comes to the things I cook as well. I do
really
like cream. Yeah,
See, we have heavy cream.
Yeah, but that unless you got to use heavy cream and then sort of melt it down first. You know what I mean. But to turn the solid more into a liquid and then boom, you've got the same result.
Okay, so my goal is going to be by the time you come back here to the U.S. to find you or make you pouring cream.
Okay, that'd be
I can
good.
do that. I can do
Cool.
that.
Because if you do that, then that will solve the problem of my nice pasta meal. Because I need that critical ingredient to make the pasta for you.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. You said, I don't know if you're going to have the same ingredients. It's chicken and pasta and
Yeah, the
spices.
chicken and the pasta
We
bit
have them.
is easy. Yeah, it's the two
This
things I'm worried
isn't-
about. It's
Yeah.
the cream is the
Mhm.
first problem, and it's also the sauce because I use Nando's sauce, and I don't believe you have Nando's sauce unless you have it in your international aisle, which you might.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
I mean, there are other sauces you could use, but I'm used to using Nando's sauce.
Because when you were talking about like, oh, you might not have the ingredients, this isn't
Yeah, I wasn't
a third
referring to
world
chicken and
country.
pasta.
Like,
You know.
we're not a third world country, believe it or not. I mean, despite
Yeah.
what your news says about us,
Yeah.
that's not.
I was referring to the specific bits that I know are going to be a pain in the ass to get out there.
So very, very important question, at least for me, Matthew. What do you want for Christmas this year?
It's so hard to answer. It's got to the point now where me and my family, we don't get each other stuff for Christmas because no one knows what they want, right? And all of us, we get the things that we need throughout the year as and when we need them. So there's never really a case of like, oh, there's this thing that I really, really want, but can't afford it, sort of thing. So maybe someone get it for me. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
especially when you're younger as a kid, there's things that you want that you can't afford, so it goes onto the Christmas list or the birthday list or whatever. But there's not, other than sort of getting like your mum chocolates and your dad flowers, which should be weird, but you know what I mean. It's there's not much to get, and it's a bit like, well, why don't we just stop doing it then now? Rather
Have
than
you stopped exchanging presents?
that there is some stuff that goes on, again, depending if there is stuff to do, and there are things that I would like to do, but something like real high ticket items in the future, because that would be fun. But when it comes to just regular stuff, it's like, well, what's the point? It's more meaningful at the moment to spend time together, spend the day together. None of us actually need anything. It doesn't. The gifts these days, they're so tiny. You're just doing it because.
Mm-hmm.
It's not something that anyone needs.
So it's turned into like a Hallmark holiday gift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I never know. Same my birthday. I have no idea what I want. Unless you want to buy me a yacht.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? But this is the problem. This is the things that I could actually do with. They're insanely expensive, and it's not appropriate as a gift. Okay. So it's like there's nothing I can think of that I need. I mean, treat me to a meal, sort of thing. That'll do. You know what I mean? It's just, yeah, it's so hard.
You've just made my Christmas shopping easier this year.
Why has that egg got an ass on it? I've just realised. The yolk behind you's got an ass.
It's Gudetama, yeah.
Okay.
It's a part of the whole Hello Kitty universe.
Right.
Gudetama means lazy egg, and he's just a little meme that we have.
Well, there we go. Cool. Yeah. Sorry, I've distracted by that. Carry on. You were saying.
Well, also, okay, so if you look right here, the one laying down, the egg yolk laying on the egg white, is covering himself with a strip of bacon.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. See, I'm saying don't care. 5 more minutes.
What's wrong with him there? Is he covered in something on that don't care one? Looks a bit suspicious.
Don't care. Confetti.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it looks a bit different from here. But there we go. Moving on.
Now I'm just going to cover that so we can pretend.
Yeah, it's just got the ass on your shoulder now.
Yay. I like that. Very nice. Yeah, so traditionally speaking, this year I will be doing the same thing I think I've always done. Thanksgiving dinner, we'll have a Christmas tree up and play Christmas music. And that will start our holidays, which I am lying a little bit. In about 2 weeks before Thanksgiving, I have been going to Tennessee to get into the Christmas spirit. So they put up all of their Christmas decorations November 1st, the first week in November. So, well, because, it's a highly sought after destination here in the United States to go to Tennessee and see all the Christmas decorations. And you go to theme park over there, Dollywood. You go to Pigeon Forge and Gatlinburg, and it's the mountains, so the view is very nice.
Yeah, I want to see that, actually. I do love a good scenic view in the mountains.
Yeah, I live in Florida, so there is no snow. So because there's no snow and there's no real cold, me being from New Jersey, North Jersey, where we have snow, where we have the cold, and we have the 4 seasons. Sometimes you just miss that. I've been down here over 8 years, almost 9 years now that I've been down in Florida. So I get my Christmas cold feeling in Tennessee.
I suppose, because like for us, it's cold as shit in the UK. It is most of the time of the year. So, we do get a cold Christmas. It's rare that we get a white Christmas. It doesn't usually snow. It's been known to. I was in Iceland a couple of years back, and that snowed on Christmas Day, and that was special. That was really nice. But some people obviously like go into Australia, which obviously the seasons are on its ass. So Christmas time is the peak of summer. So you have people in Santa outfits sweating their bollocks off, running into the sea. But I suppose for you, that wouldn't be all that special because you're used to warmer conditions. Although Australia's probably hotter during Christmas than what Florida is potentially. But I suppose it wouldn't be all that different for you.
Yeah, here we average 85 degrees Fahrenheit.
Oh, fucking hell. Let's do the math on that. So you got a minus of fucking 1001, then divide it by your nan fucking pitagrade, and then you'll get to fucking Celsius.
Yeah. Why you have to be so complicated about it?
Us?
Yes.
Mate, no. We're going to get onto this more, but Celsius makes sense because when you have a freezing temperature, it is a minus number. All right, 0 is freezing point. What is a freezing temperature in Fahrenheit, please?
32.
It makes no fucking sense.
I agree with that. I do agree with that. I'm just going to sit here and play with my banana while you're...
Jesus Christ. So when do you take decorations down?
That's easy. 1 week after New Year's.
Okay.
So and that's a very traditional Catholic thing to do. It's the coming of the 3 kings. Usually gets very messy when they come at the same time. But what happens is Christmas Day, December 25th, Jesus was born. And it took them, I want to say, like close to 2 weeks for them to travel to Jesus. So when they came, after 2 weeks of traveling is when we're allowed to end the celebration of the birth of Jesus Christ. Yes.
So the general rule that I follow, not everyone follows this, but the general rule that I follow is first weekend of December, decorations go up. And the first weekend of January, decorations come down.
So what is your decor for Thanksgiving?
We don't do Thanksgiving. It doesn't exist.
Oh, shit, that's right.
Did you genuinely forget that? Are you serious?
I did. I completely forgot. Because you were going along this whole episode. You've been going along about Thanksgiving. Oh, my God. Really?
So we have some people here. So
do you celebrate anything like Thanksgiving at all?
No, we don't. No. So we have bank holidays in this country, which is certain Mondays throughout the year. Or most of them are Mondays throughout the year where it's you don't work-ish. Some places still open. But our last bank holiday is in August. Is towards the end of August. We don't then have a bank holiday until Christmas Day. So we have quite a chunk.
Ignore me.
What are you doing?
Ignore me.
You're being a right bellend.
I am.
We
what?
A bellend.
A bellend?
A bellend, yeah.
What is that?
It's just a bellend. Google it in your own time.
Not in the middle of an episode?
Probably not.
Probably not.
I don't know what sort of results you'll get.
Yeah, well,
depends on your Google history. You
don't want to see my Google history.
No. But yeah, so I don't know what I was talking about. But no, we don't have any
for social media. Go on.
We don't have any bank holidays between August and Christmas. It's a big stint. It's the longest stint in the year of just nothing going on, nothing to really celebrate. You know, apart from Halloween and Bonfire Night, but that's just, you know, shits and giggles.
And Bonfire Night is your version of our 4th of July, which you obviously wouldn't have. So I'm not that stupid.
Well, yeah, but obviously ours is about the gunpowder plot and Guy Fawkes and the attempted assassination of whoever.
Your history is amazing. I mean, between that and tea and...
Well, fun fact though, Kit Harington, try that again. Kit Harington, the actor from Game of Thrones. Okay. His ancestor was Gatesby, I think it is, or Gatesby, whatever it is. The person that was the mastermind behind the gunpowder plot. He is a direct doodah. So, because he played his ancestor in the HBO series. I think it was HBO that did it. In the HBO series.
Game of Thrones, yeah.
No, not Game of Thrones. In the gunpowder plot.
Oh,
it's a mini series. Okay. It's a mini series about the of why it became Bonfire Night and what it's all about. But that's why when we do Bonfire Night, we usually have a big, massive mound that you set alight, and you have Guy Fawkes in the middle being burnt. Guy Fawkes was the person that was supposed to blow up Parliament. I think it is. I could be wrong with some of this.
Big Guy Fawkes, so you put a person in the middle of it and burn them at the stake. It's
kind of
like
person, but...
witches.
Yeah, but it is to celebrate that we prevented
Joan of Arc. I'm genuinely curious about looking that up, and if any American out there is interested in burning people at the stake, go to the Brits. I'm going to wrap this up because oh my god. Now, when you do that though, do you use gasoline? Do you use gas to light them up on fire, or is it petrol?
Petrol.
All right, guys. I thank you so much for watching. We are ending it here. Please comment down below on what your actual traditions are, where you're you're from. What would you do?
I stood on a bull and almost fell over. They're peppered on my floor. You've been pissing me off so much recently. I have balls all over the floor.
Oh my god!
No, they're not my own.
No, you're not dropping balls.
No,
you're not dropping your balls.
Not mine. Okay. No. I'm still waiting for that part of my life.
To see Matthew drop his own balls, join us on Patreon. Everything's going to be linked down below. Let us know what you think about this episode and other things you want to hear us talk about and yell about and make fun of each other about, because I think this is a grand old time. Don't you, Matthew?
I do indeed. I have a buggered flag, Paul.
Well, we'll stick it up your ass. We're ending the podcast now. So wave and say goodbye, Matthew.
Goodbye.
Bye, guys. See you very, very soon.
Bye for now.